It's going great. It's going great. I feel sorry for Grover. His nose and stuff fell off, but he's, all right.
A lot of character.
Yeah. He's moonlighting as a microphone, so we'll just go with it.
So, what got you into the convention scene in general, like going around and doing cons and things like that?
I started doing these conventions probably about 15 years ago or so. At first, it was kind of, they were a little bit more sort of like horror genre eccentric, kind of different. They weren't as widespread as far as like pop culture and stuff like that, and so there was kind of a limited market for myself back then. But they sort of started slipping in the pop culture stuff, and I think I've done Mallrats, sort of kind of slipped me into that place, and my twin brother did Dazed and Confused, and so we kind of started sort of fitting this into the pop culture aspect of it, and now we're just ancient relics, and so I think they just have us along because they feel sorry for us. So.
Well, there's definitely some nostalgia there with Mallrats and even Party of Five. I admit, like I watched Party of Five back.
Thank you. I'm glad. It's a great show, Party of Five.
Like you mentioned your brother, I do have to ask, how often do you two get confused? Like,
My twin brother, how often do we get confused?
Yeah, like
For each other, or just in general? We're getting old. I get confused every day. Wait a minute, where are we? Oh, you mean by each other? It happens.
so how often do you have a fan come up and mistake you for your brother?
We are on count 3 so far today. We actually have a tally. We usually have bets going with my group on how many times a day I'll get mistaken for my brother. I said Dazed and Confused specifically 4, and we're at 3 so far. So I think our biggest number was 6. So we'll see what we get to today.
So I have to ask, Mallrats. At that point, I think Kevin Smith's career was just starting to thrive. Clerks had hit, and it was huge. So how did this role come about for you guys?
Well, Mallrats was, it was sort of kind of running off the buzz of Clerks, which sort of kind of was a bit of an enigma, I think, to everybody at the time. I just was lucky enough to get the audition for it. My twin brother had done Dazed and Confused, and Don Phillips, the casting director, had cast him in Dazed and Confused, and so I got an opportunity to audition for Don Phillips and Kevin Smith for Mallrats. And I remember I went in, and I don't know what I did, but I pretty much got hired on the spot. And from that point on, sort of was kind of helped them out finding the rest of the cast.
Now, we were there when the announcement was made that Mallbrats was coming about. How excited were you to hear that news and being able to play that character?
Well, I was extremely excited to hear that there was going to be a sequel made about Mallrats, but the name Mallbrats itself is nothing to be that I'm that thrilled about, because it's, we're not the Mallbrats, we're Mallrats. Mallbrats are our children, so I'm not quite sure who the movie was about. I'm thinking Kevin's come to his senses, though, and I think it's gone back to Mallrats too. I hope, and if not, we should get an effort going towards Mallrats too, because I think it's going to say hopefully more about the movie than Mallbrats.
So have you talked to any of previous cast members or anything like that about the upcoming film, kind of gotten reacquainted?
Well, we were lucky enough, the cast and I were lucky enough to reconvene in, where were we? I believe we were in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, I think. And we all got to, spend time and get close again. And then I was lucky enough, Brian O'Halloran just played a part of Dracula in a movie that I just wrote and directed, a short film that my acting school, the London Arts Acting Studio, that we did called Monsters Anonymous, that everybody's getting ready to be able to see hopefully soon. We're going to start taking it to festivals and stuff like that. So Brian O'Halloran and I just recently worked together, and then we saw everybody in It was Pensacon. It was Pensacola. That's where we saw everybody, everybody's just as excited, to see each other. It's like family,
Now, I know you probably can't talk about much, but I do have to ask, what do you want to see for your character in this film?
And what I would like to see for my character in Mallrats too would be just a chance to be as funny as everybody else. Hopefully, you know, I'm the straight guy in it usually, but I don't care. I'm just glad to be there. I would just like to see the group back together, man. That's all I care about, man. I don't care if the movie makes money. I don't care. I know that's, you know, everybody else does, but I seriously just I can't wait to get back with everybody and make another movie. That's what's important to me.
So what about after Mallrats 2, aka Mallbrats? Like, what's coming forward after that?
Well, my wife and I, Juliette Reeves London is my wife, and she had a movie that premiered last night on the Chiller channel called Girl in Woods, and I believe it might be on again tonight. It's fantastic. She's getting extremely wonderful reviews. She's excellent. It's called Girl in Woods. You can see it on the Chiller channel or on VOD. I also wrote, directed, and produced a movie called The Devil's Dozen that you can get on iTunes or Amazon. Great actors, Eric Roberts, C. Thomas Howell, Jake Busey. A wonderful thriller, psychological thriller. But I, right now, recently, like I said, I started an acting school in Biloxi, Mississippi and New Orleans called the London Arts Acting Studio, and we just made a movie called Monsters Anonymous. And it's a short film that is going to make everybody laugh their ass off, I hope.
Well, Jeremy, I want to thank you so much for coming to AwesomeCon. I want to thank you so much for speaking with Film Pad.
Hey, man, thank you so much thanks for having me, man. The best of luck to you guys.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.